Om Shanti and welcome to this special conversation on the topic creating happiness in life. Is it really possible to create happiness in life? What are the ways and method? Can spirituality help us to do that? To know more, we have with us in the studio a very special guest from Mexico, Brother Ernesto. Brother Ernesto has been an economist. He's also been a politician in Mexico and has been practicing Raj Yoga meditation for more than 37 years. Om Shanti, brother. Very happy, delighted to see you.
Oh, Om Shanti. For me, it's most delighted to be here with you.
And the topic especially so relevant because we see you spreading happiness, spreading joy wherever you go just by creating your presence, the good words you speak.
Yes.
I would like to understand from you first of all, what according to you is happiness and joy?
Now, when we talk about happiness, it's something strange because most of the people is not having happiness. Why? Because there is so many desires. If you want to be happy, you have to be desireless. And that is the important thing, how to be desireless, no? How to be fulfilled in your life. Let's say, if you're an intellectual, you have desire of writing books, no? And spreading your own knowledge to the people. And they are every second worry of how I'm going to be writing the next book, because they are always thinking in the next. And then there is no satisfaction at all. Okay, you have present satisfaction because you write a book, but your mind is trying to make the second one, or the third one, or the fourth one. How we can quiet that? That is the most important thing. No? I have been with rich people, and they are just thinking how I'm going to create the next million. And if the next million doesn't come, they become very sad, very upset. And if the next million comes, they want 2 million. And then it's a
never-ending cycle.
Never-ending cycle. And that is happening all over the world, and all over the people. No, that doesn't matter if you are poor or rich, or, everyone is in their own cycle
of desires.
How to become satisfied with you? I become to be satisfied when I find myself. It looks simple, but it's a little difficult. Because when you are not you, always there is a desire to fulfill. But when you find yourself, you really have your own identity, you recognize who you are, you recognize the values that you have. Of course, the starting point of spreading happiness, comes. Of course, yes, you understand who you are, but we need another ingredient. Once you really go into yourself, you need a path. You need to find your own path. And because once you have a path, then your eyes are not flying. You just have a path. And then you begin to feel freedom. when you feel freedom, you become to be happy. Because you are not thinking in anything, you are not thinking in others, you are just in your path, walking around, and of course, showing yourself as a happy soul. And that is the beauty, no? How to get that path.
You know, Brother Ernesto, you
Yeah.
mentioned something very deep, that the root cause that a person is not happy is desire.
Yeah.
And it could be an intellectual desire, it could be anything, and each one is stuck in that cycle of the next thing to do to feel happy. We would want to know, we'll take up how to get into the path.
Yes.
But you know, one question comes in people's mind that if I do not have any desires, I do not have any ambitions, then you know, what is life? Is it wrong to have ambitions? What would you say?
No, all depends. Of course, you can and you need to have an ambition. But it's different to have a limited ambition and unlimited ambition. Because if you don't have an ambition, a goal, then you don't have a path. When I say you have a path, it's because you are reaching a goal. Otherwise, the path, that doesn't mean anything. No, you cannot walk, just walking, without knowing where we are, where we go. No, then yes, you need a goal. And what I learned in my life, once you have a goal, you know the path to reach that goal, then happiness starts. You know why? Because you are happy reaching your ultimate goal, and you have the path to go to that goal. Nowadays, of course, we're talking about something very deep, spiritually talking, because we are talking about the being, but how normal people can reach that, no? How the people on the streets can have a goal. And I feel they have, but they don't know how to reach that.
And probably that goal is very limited, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it's limited.
It's a limited goal.
Yes. But then anyhow, we are now in the limit world. We are not in unlimited world, no? Then again, your consciousness. If you have the right consciousness, then it's easy to go and reach your goal. If not, not. No, simple.
Yeah, you talked about consciousness. You know, another question which sometimes people, when they're seeking happiness, it comes from them that we look around people, when you talked about people on the streets, people all over the world, they are unhappy. And when there is so much of sorrow around, is it justified to be happy? Even when a person sometimes does not have any personal problem, but by just looking at other people, he thinks it's not justified that I should also be happy. So how justified is it for people to be happy when others are around them are not happy? And is it not selfishness just to have your own path? You know, what would you say?
Let me tell you this. It's very simple question. It's simple and it's complicated, because we have the wrong meaning nowadays. You know, they feel if you love that soul, you have, if it is suffering, you have to suffer with it. No, it's wrong. No. First, if you are happy, it's because you find yourself and you find the root of happiness. Then why to change that root in order to be part of the suffering of other souls? No. If you are happy, you have to spread happiness. Otherwise, nonsense. No. If you are not, it's impossible to spread happiness. Then what I find in my life is that, yes, many souls are suffering, but I learned that I don't have to suffer with them in order to be part of their lives. On the contrary, I have to find my root of happiness in order to spread that happiness and make that soul that is suffering become to feel the happiness inside. Because happiness is not something outside, exterior, it's something interior. And you have to make them to realize that that richness of happiness is inside of you and not outside of you. Then when you spread that, of course the people can, there is no even the question of selfishness. Why you are happy if he is suffering? No, I am happy, and I will spread happiness in the life of the one that is suffering. Otherwise, how can we go out of the circle of suffering? Because if you go into the circle, then is suffering ending, never ends, no? And we want to be happy and create this new circle of happiness.
Which is a very important thing you said, that, you know, sometimes people restrict themselves and say, you know, how justified it is. But if I want to, you know, take the other person out of their sorrow, out of their suffering, first and foremost, I need to take care about, you know, about my own mental health, my own self, the happiness that I have, and only then I'm in a position to help the other person. And I think it's very important.
Yes.
And it is not selfishness, of course,
No.
as you rightly mentioned. And one of the things also, that it is the happiness from inside that a person feels, because most of the people are looking for outside achievements or outside material comforts to experience that happiness. So it's always that you have this, yet it's not, it's not always that a person is happy with the material comforts that we gather.
But even if you have an external goal and you achieve that goal, who is having that happiness? Has to be inside of you, no?
Yes, of course.
The happiness is not just how much I amount of money, or how much cars I have, or how much houses I have, or if I have a farm, or if I have a factory, or what. No, happiness is an inside feeling that can spread easily and can enrich your life. If you have that inside full of happiness, of course all the goals will happen easily, but that will not create an illusion. The outside happiness is an illusion. The inside happiness is the real happiness. That is the difference, no?
Right.
But we have to differentiate the interior universe and the exterior universe. Both universes are together, yes. Both are needed, yes. But first is the interior one, because I am inside, I am not outside, and in order to create the environment, the right environment around myself, first I have to create the right environment inside myself. And then we can create happiness all over. All over.
So when I create the right environment inside of myself, tell us from your life experience, how did you create that, and how have you maintained? Because we understand for the last almost 40 years,
Yes.
like 37 years, you are following a meditation practice, a spiritual lifestyle. And one of the things is that you were young and married when you got into meditation. One of the other things which happens with people is that Of course, they think we have to achieve things outside to be really happy. Okay, I have to create my inner world, change it. But sometimes there are restrictions. They say, okay, if I follow a path, if I am spiritual, I'm giving up on things which were earlier supposed to give me fun, or they were the things which made me happy. So it's not easy for people to understand unless they've experienced. So tell us through your experience how to change the inner world and how to exchange those things which we perceive and we've been made to believe with advertisements, with people, the society. This is what is going to make you happy.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Any goal that you have in life, that is, of course, if you have a goal, you want to reach that goal. And then when you reach that goal, you will be happy. But you have to have a goal. Otherwise, there is no happiness because there is no goal.
But the goal has to be unlimited, you said.
No, it's unlimited or limited. Let me tell you this. We can talk about unlimited once you are in the spiritual path. But if you are not, anyhow, you can have happiness. Yes, of course, you can have happiness. But you have to have your goal and you have to do the effort to reach that goal. Renunciation, of course. If you have a goal, you have to renunciate. I was a politician. I had my own goals. And of course, I have to renunciate, even to my family. You understand what I mean? You renounce because you want to reach. And when you talk about the spiritual thing, it's deepest. Because you have to renounce to your past life. You understand? The past life means the exterior life and go to into you, no? But you have to have clear goal. Otherwise, how you can reach yourself, no? Then the beauty of this spiritual path is how this spiritual path was created and was God Himself that creates the spiritual path for us, because He was listening all the laments and the suffering from people, no, and seeing the roots of that, and says, the only way is myself, being present with them. It's wonderful to understand the humility of God, to become servant of the children. He become to serve us, to give us a goal, no? And He knew that in the physical world, everyone has a big, little goal, but everyone has a goal. And some fulfill, some unfulfill. That is why this disturbance around the world. But He comes and He tells us, relax, no? First, let's find yourself. Find your right identity. And when you really accept Baba's identity in you, your identity as a soul, as a spiritual being, then everything begins to change. Of course, it's not like that, no? Because again, you start creating new goals. And to reach that new goals needs renunciation. And you have to renounce the past. The past life. Because when you create a new consciousness, the past consciousness finish. But that new consciousness have new path, new goals, new ideas, knew intellectual things, right or wrong, knew everything. Then you start coming, reaching goals practically, no? Because it's practical. Mm-hmm. When you are happy, you are happy. You cannot be a happy fake. Mm-hmm. You feel. When there is enthusiasm, you feel the enthusiasm. You cannot fake enthusiasm. You cannot fake. Or when you love, but you cannot fake that you love someone, because immediately the other one, they say, this is a fake. This is not real. Mm. Then Baba make us real. Mm. That is the first step of a spiritual life, to become real, being real myself. Mm-hmm. And then I can share. But first I have to fulfill myself. Mm-hmm. And it's like anything, no? You want to give? You cannot give what you don't have, no? Mm. You want to give money and you don't have money in your pocket, you cannot give money. They need food and you don't eat, how can I fulfill the need of eating, no? They want love,
but I
don't have love. Yeah. Then it's not egotistic to think first in me, because I have to first think in me. I want to give happiness, I have to be happy. I want to give love, I have to be full of love. I have to be, I need to be pure. Then I want to give purity, good wishes, and I have to be full of that. Otherwise, impossible, hermana. And I say hermana because this word, I like it. Mm-hmm. That the meaning in Hindi, herman, and the meaning in Spanish, hermano, close by, you make mm-hmm. to belong. And I feel that the starting point of becoming full is when you belong. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that Baba, God, Shiv Baba, make us feel is the belonging mm-hmm. feeling. Mm-hmm. When you belong to Him, He belongs to you. And then if He belongs to you, then you begin to become full. Mm-hmm. And then if you become to be full, then you start sharing. Mm-hmm. That is what we have to do, and mm-hmm. that is what I have been doing mm-hmm. since I came to my spiritual journey. Because I say, Baba, make me happy. I must give happiness to everyone. Mm. It's my duty. But it's not a duty like I have to do efforts. No. It's the duty from my heart. Mm-hmm. It's the duty of the soul, of the being, giving others what is needed now. Mm-hmm. You see in the world, yeah. Everyone is searching for happiness. Mm-hmm. You see in the world, everyone is searching for peace, no? Everyone is searching for love, because there is no love. Mm-hmm. Then, if we are close to the ocean of love, of happiness, of purity, or whatever quality you need, and if you go deep, then you come mm-hmm. ready to spread. Mm-hmm. No? Mm-hmm.
Very beautifully put, Brother Ernesto, that first of all we need to recognize who we are, recognize God, and belong to Him. Mm-hmm. And when there is fulfillment from mm-hmm. God mm-hmm. and from our own identity, after knowing ourselves, which God Himself gives us, there is no need to look out for happiness, because we are happy, mm-hmm. and that is what creates genuine happiness. And doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, whether you have things, you don't have things. So you've shared it in detail. And also the fact that you need to have goals. And now we understand that a limited goal is something of the world, but you can have unlimited goals on the spiritual path and experience happiness every day. So thank you very much for sharing your experiences, your insights. But before we close, what is your message for the people who are looking at you, listening to you? How can they create happiness every day, each day?
First, go in the journey. Journey of finding you finding your new identity. Because once you find yourself, the journey starts. Otherwise, there is no journey. There is journey, but there is no journey. Once you really accept who you are, because we are not the illusion of body or material satisfactions. Of course, they are there, but we are deep. We are the wonderful things of spiritual qualities, powers. All these spiritual powers, spiritual virtues are our virtues and our powers. I am equal to God. I am not God, but I am equal to God. Because He is the soul, is a point of light. I am a soul, a point of light, with the same characteristics. The only thing is that I become wrong. And then I require all the physical satisfactions. But now God Himself is coming to rescue me and to make me independent of all the exterior things. And make me feel that I can be dealing with the exterior things, but in the right consciousness. What we have to do, what I give an invitation to everyone, get close. Get close to Brahma Kumaris. It's something that I have to say, because there is no other journey equal than Brahma Kumari's journey. And come close, see, feel, experience, and share. When you do that, I am sure that you will say, my searching ends.
Okay.
And now I become my real journey to be with my Father, and of course to be part of this wonderful human family.
Thank you so much, Brother Ernesto. Thank you for your time and for your insights and for your message. Keep spreading happiness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.